So, the news of the week, or the news of the fourth week of 2023. We actually do have news this time. They've released the roadmap for early 2023. February, we're going to get 2 new characters. One from Enchanto, Mirabelle, I think her name is, which was a bit of a surprise. No one kind of expected that. And also a special snowman, which at first I thought was an item, then I realized Olaf. So we're getting Enchanto and Olaf characters. The Star Path will also be 100th anniversary of Disney, and we're going to be unlocking the Frosted Heights biome. Now, they've moved to a bi-monthly schedule, so it's actually in April. A bi-monthly, that's right, every 2 months. Every 2 months. So the next update after February will be in April. We're going to get a new realm, and it's showing a picture of Simba, so I'm guessing we're going to get Lion King. New characters, so the characters had an S on it, so it basically means we'll get more than Simba, so I'm guessing Simone. Simone? Simba, Simone and Timber, Simone. Am I saying that right? I'm not saying that right. That Star Path for April will be about Disney parks, will be quite interesting. We might actually get some big items. After that, they mentioned a princess racing in the valley in early summer, so I'm guessing around June. I'm thinking that's going to be Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph, because princess and races, and if you watch the second movie of Wreck-It Ralph, that you probably will understand that. And they have confirmed they're still working on multiplayer as well. So that's the quick rundown and the quick wrap up. But what we'll do now is we'll go through the actual post and kind of break it down a little bit further. Alright, so this is what they posted yesterday at 5 a.m. for me. So it looks like this timestamps it. So for those wondering, this is when the news actually broke for me at 5 a.m. in the morning. So we'll read this through. So the early 2023 content roadmap is here. So they said, hey, Valley Villagers, which, you know. Before we dive into today's big announcement, we want to thank you for helping make 2022 a truly magical year. From the announcement to early access launch, your support has meant the world to us, and we wouldn't be here today without you. I've got a feeling they would be. I just don't think they'll be able to do so many fancy things. It's not hyperbole to say that your feedback and support has made Disney Dreamlight Valley an even better game. True, they're very good at pointing out bugs and being very open with their bug fixes. They've got a Trello board even, which is very rare. You can actually visit the Trello board and see what they've been working on and seeing what well, not really what they've been working on, but the bugs that they have notified and trying to resolve. So I have to agree with that one. They've been really good with not just taking the feedback, but really making it known, the feedback sinking in. And for all that, we thank you. It's safe to say that in between welcoming a fun-loving visitor from beyond the stars, Stitch, and outfitting your valley with abundance of festival spirit, well, Christmas, which they don't say Christmas, just say festive spirit, but you know. You've been eagerly anticipating a look at our roadmap for the future. Well, today we're excited to share the first look at what we have planned in early 2023. Kicking off our next major update in the next few weeks, we have a whole slate of free updates. It bothers me that they have to point out it's free. I don't know if that bothers anyone else, but the fact that they have to point out, oh, these are free, don't panic, is the fact that we've reached the point in gaming that people panic, thinking that the updates will cost money. When has an update to a game actually cost money, though? If it's a DLC, it's different. Call it a DLC. You don't need to say free update. Just say update. It's not their fault. I think that's just the culture in gaming at the moment, that you have to point out what's free and what's not. But yeah, it's a bit sad that they have to point it out it's free. Anyway, a whole slate of free updates on the way. Take a look at our early 2023 content roadmap below to get your first look at what to expect in the next couple of months. So this is the roadmap that we've got. So this was the biggest surprise. Now, I struggle with a name. What was it? Mirabelle? Mirabelle. So Mirabelle from Enchanto is arriving, which is odd. She never showed up in any of the trailers. There's nothing in game to indicate she was popping up. So that was a bigger surprise. A lot of people thought it was going to be Fairy Godmother. Now, to be fair, now it also says on here, exceptional new villager and a special snowman. So that's obviously Olaf. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the only thing we're going to get. Like with the Toy Story round that we got introduced, we got 3 new characters instead of just the expected 2. So we could be seeing Fairy Godmother, we could be seeing other things. So everyone assumes the Fairy Godmother was the next one to pop along. So that was a nice, I would say nice surprise, because it means they can still shock us. But very interesting, they're not introducing other characters that are clearly more established that are coming. So, interesting. Enchanted had a good song. I have to admit, yeah, that's why we don't talk about Bruno no more. Anyway, discover the secrets of Frosted Heights biome. So I guess in the next quest line is going to be about the Frosted Heights, which probably will tie in with Olaf as well. So that was interesting. Now, it also says celebrate Disney's 100th anniversary with a Mickey hat that... Look, I'm going to do the safe joke. It looks like bird poop. There's a lot of other things that I could say here, right here, but it looks like bird poop. So I don't know why they use that particular hat to show the star path. Maybe it's an item that's in the star path, but it just looks, especially at, you know, a small image and a little bit low quality, it just looks like bird poop. But yeah, that's for February, so it is suspected that will come in a couple of weeks. A lot of people think it's the 8th of the 2nd. I think if it was going to be the 8th of the 2nd, they would have pointed out looking at the calendar. I mean, the 8th is in 2 weeks, so they could make the announcement next week that it's coming the following week. That is a potential. But yeah, it's, you know, it's getting there. So it's going to be sometimes in February, so we can at least expect it in the next couple of weeks. Can we get Shrek? So I could appreciate its beauty. Yeah, unfortunately that's DreamWorks. So unfortunately Disney doesn't own it. Disney doesn't like Shrek. Shrek will come in Dreamlight Valley. Yeah, unfortunately Shrek isn't owned by Disney. It's owned by DreamWorks, so it's probably not going to happen, which sucks. But you know, that's why they use very safe, copyright-free characters in Shrek. So now we'll go to February. So the reason what I mentioned earlier that they're moving to bi-monthly or 2 monthly is initially they did say they're going to do an update a month. So they must have moved away that model. Maybe they were very happy with the amount of content they can drop and were dissatisfied with the amount of content they would drop if it was on a monthly basis. So that's why I think they've moved from doing a 2 monthly thing, so they can drop more instead of little batches here and there and people just like exhausting the content really quickly, which, I mean, as someone that streams regularly, that's a bit sucky, but I understand it. It makes sense. And it'll probably give them more time to really flesh out the content and not feel too pressured to deliver something when it's not ready. So the next one will be in April. So a new realm opens. I mean, they are implying it is the Lion King. It's hard to tell whether this is just a red herring that you're just going to get Simba and there's going to be another realm. But it's probably safe to say it's probably going to be Lion King, and we're probably going to get Simba, Simon. Why am I saying Simon? And What's wrong with me? I need to read the word. Timon and Pumbaa. There we go. Timon. Whatever. I can't talk. What the hell's wrong with me? Anyway, Timon and Pumbaa. And so they arrive in the Valley and more surprised. So it's very safe. I think they're playing it very safe here. I think we're going to get more than just the characters in the realm. Just like we had with this update. I think typically if they introduce a realm, they will probably introduce like a story element into the game as well, which typically includes another character. So that's what I'm expecting there, and it's very vague. Just more characters, and it's strongly hinting it's Lion King. And the Star Path is Disney Parks, which, to be honest, I'm more excited about Disney Parks than the 100th anniversary, mainly because I'm expecting some bigger items. I'm expecting some more interesting items we could place around the valley. And I would think also house skins would be really good, like character house skins may come with that path as well, to look like some of the housing that's actually at the parks. So I'm actually rather looking forward to that one in particular. Beyond that, early summer. So if we look on this buy schedule, we've got February, blank March, April, blank April, May, June. So, and that kind of lines up with an early summer. So I think this will be coming in June, will be the 5th update. Now the key here is unveil the secret to the forgetting. I'm guessing they're going to try and wrap up the story, or at least make it come to a conclusion. But the big one is a princess races into the valley, which I think everyone else is stuck on that princess and stuck on the pumpkin that's behind him, and thinking it's more Cinderella and so forth. But I think there was a deliberate wording there, races, and Vanellope is already in the game. So I think, in the game, in one of the memories, so you would assume that she's going to be one of the launch characters, or going to be with the base game. And with more to come in 2023, to be honest, that's a nothing burger of what they've released there. Everything they put here was, it's already been stated. We're going to get more characters, duh. We're going to get more realms, duh. We're going to get more clothing. We're going to get more decorations and furniture, duh. Doesn't mention anything about the item limit expanding, so I'm a bit annoyed about that. A lot of people are excited by the fact that they've seen multiplayer. They have stated multiplayer in the past. It was one of the social goals that they said if it got X amount of shares or likes or something, they would work on a multiplayer component. So I don't think it's too much of a big deal. It's good to know they're still working on it, and it's still in their kind of mindset. But I do think I don't know how big of a multiplayer component it's going to be. I think with the game how it is, you go around collecting stuff, I don't think you'll be able to edit people's villages. So it would be more of a visiting thing. Whether you could visit them at the same time they're playing, not quite sure. Is it multiplayer in the sense of you can share your villages and people can go visit them? Kind of like, I believe Animal Crossing does it. I don't really know how the multiplayer component's going to work. It's going to be interesting how they do the multiplayer component, because I mean, for those that have played the game, can you imagine someone else running around and being able to move stuff around and move items at the same time? I don't think you'll be able to. Maybe it's a case of you can do pretty much everything, but maybe pick up items or decorate something, or you can give permission to decorate a particular item if you want, a particular biome, I should say, if you wanted help with it. It would grind me being able to visit other villages, not being able to pick up anything from the ground. That would drive me a little bit crazy, because I pick up everything. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it. It's a hard one. With this particular game, it's going to be a little bit of a hard one. I'd like the ability for anyone to be able to just drop into your village and you can just see them, and you can just go around. You have a different version of the game, as in you see in your village items to pick up and all that stuff, but they don't see all that, but they can just walk around the village and interact with certain things. Yeah, it'll be interesting how they do it, and it's good to see they're still working on. But to be honest, after April, all these updates kind of don't give us much, except for the princess races into the valley. And to be honest, we knew more content was coming, and we knew they were going to probably introduce at least Bella into the game before they launch it at the end of 2023 anyway, and it'll probably be the end of summer. Can I visit yours? I will definitely open my village up to everybody that wants to visit, if the option ever exists. Even if the option exists where I can play and stream and people can randomly pop up and muck around, everyone will be more than welcome if that happens. So yeah, that's the roadmap for early 2023. So it's very interesting. A few new things. A few things we knew they were coming, but now they're a little bit more concrete. So that's really, really exciting. So we'll continue. From a host of beloved characters eager to visit Dreamlight Valley, to Disney magic galore that will help you tap into, among other things, your love for Disney parks. Like, the problem is that in New Zealand, we don't really have a lot of Disney parks we can go to, so I don't have a huge love for them. But anyway, 2023 is shaping up to be a huge year for Disney Dreamlight Valley. Mysteries around you as you delve deeper into the secrets that surround the forgetting. So I'm guessing they're going to wrap up the storyline. So it'll be interesting to see if they introduce a new storyline or something. This is just the tip of the iceberg though. You can expect countless surprises within each and every one of these updates, including new features and improvements stemming from the invaluable community feedback that's been shared so far. I mean, that is correct. We're going to be getting a storage update with update 3, which is, I guess we'll call it the Enchanto update at the moment. We're going to be getting house skins with it, and possibly there have been hints of increasing levels for your companions and for yourself. So that's the update 3. I'm excited to dig in. Update 3 will release in February. Welcoming 2 new friends we know you've been buzzing about. Has anyone actually been asking for Enchanto? To be honest, I watch, or so not, I guess I watch also, but I look on Twitter and that of characters and excited. Yes, the name does pop up, but it wasn't on the top of everybody's list. So it's very interesting, exciting that they kind of do a kind of left field direction, and we might get characters that we don't expect. I'm still gaming for some of the classic Disney characters like Duckling Duck and Huey, Dewey and Louie, and even Daisy Duck, because I really want to make a Toontown, you know, just an old school Toontown with all those kind of characters. So it's cool that they do that. I don't know whether everyone was pining for it though. But, you know, that's just me being pedantic about, you know, this. While also celebrating our 100th anniversary of the new Star Path. Stay tuned over the coming weeks as we share more details on what to expect from this update, as well as when you can expect to welcome its magic into your home. We've got a lot to share and can't wait to hear what you think. And then we've got the link to the Trello board, which is always good for them to post about. So this is their little Trello board, which is really good. I do suggest anyone, if you're ever interested in this kind of stuff, is to pop in here, because you can really see some of the, this is a good example of good community engagement and showing everyone that you're working on stuff. It's such a good idea. And I wish more companies did stuff like this, as that clearly indicates what you're working on, clearly indicates things that you're having trouble with. And I do wish some people would, you know, use it more, to be honest. Especially on Reddit, people complaining about some quests all the time. Just pop in here. If it's not on the board, complain about it. But I'm really excited for them to really work on some of these bugs, just so we can start making the game bigger. I think that's what I'm looking forward to. Cool. And that's it. That's the update for the roadmap. So no confirmed actual dates. But we're getting closer of trimming it down and knowing what to expect going forward. And so yeah, that's my news of the week. And I actually had news to talk about, so that was fun. It'd be interesting to see what New York would be like without rats. Wait, where are rats native of? Because in New Zealand, they're definitely a pest, right? And so there's a big conscious effort to try and get rid of them off New Zealand. There's a lot of areas now that are just pest-free. I don't know where rats are actually native of. Like, if you get them all out of New York, so if you do a huge kind of extermination campaign, would you be killing a native species? Pretty sure rats must have originated in Britain. Or maybe they're one of those cases like sheep or cows that they've been domesticated or they've been spread so far you can't really figure out the origins of them. We do have spiders, not as bad as Australia. Australia's got like huntsmans and like massive beasts, but we don't have snakes, and there's nothing in New Zealand that can kill you. Let's put it out. There's not enough there's no insects or no bugs that could have enough venom to kill you. Before humans came to New Zealand, there were no mammals apart from a bat in New Zealand. There was only one mammal, and it was this tiny, tiny little bat. And then we came over and just messed things up. That's why in New Zealand you get a lot of flightless birds, like the kiwi. And we used to have an emu called the moa, which humanity caused to go extinct, because that's what we do when we get to a new place. We just kill everything in sight. But we have a lot of flightless birds, and that's why they've struggled since we've got here, because all the pests kind of started knocking them out. Sadly, they didn't respawn. There was no... I think the closest thing to respawn for creatures like there was a hidden population that suddenly someone discovered. Unfortunately, moas were a little bit too big for that to happen. But there's skeletons all over the show. There was like 5 or 6 different species, like the giant moa, and we pretty much just came over and made them extinct. Mainly the Polynesian Māori people. They did, because, well, they're still humans after all, and like to make things extinct. But pretty much Europeans would have done the exact same thing when we came over. But there's a few species around the show that everyone thought was extinct that have come back, and they found isolated populations. And we've got a lot of little islands around New Zealand that they've managed to make pest-free, and they've introduced native species to it. And those populations have grown back, and then they've just moved on to another sanctuary, and eventually they've actually started hitting the mainland now. They've actually started to introduce kiwi back into the wild, which is really cool, in Wellington, which may not seem much, but that's a massive achievement, because they don't tend to do very well in the wild, kiwi. Mainly because of rats, because they're pretty much the rats and possums and stoats, they get into the burrows and steal the eggs. And the eggs are quite massive. They're not small eggs. So it's a very delicious treat for them. And yeah, it's weird to say our national symbol of New Zealand is, close to extinction, but we're working on making it better. It's one of those annoying things that takes a little bit of time. But it's sometimes cool seeing a lot of birds recently popping through, and a lot of native birds kind of around your house, because that's becoming a more and more common thing. There's a parrot called the kaka. It's very similar to the kia, and it's a very cheeky bird, and it's like a parrot. And the populations weren't that great, and I hadn't seen one. I've been living in New Zealand, not in New Zealand, sorry. Of course I've been living in New Zealand, but I've been living in Wellington the majority of my life. Never seen a kaka outside of my window until a couple months ago. I looked out, and it was this parrot just sitting there, this native parrot climbing up a tree with his beak, and it was really cool to see. And people may not think that's a big deal, but be able to see a native parrot outside your window just casually, it's pretty cool. The best advice I can give to anyone playing the game is just save your stuff. Like right off the gate, try and save everything you pick up, because you never know when you're going to need it. And you'll need every single item at one time. Except pumpkins, yeah. Except pumpkins, just sell those bad boys. And then you get like me, you got 10 million gold, and you got nothing to spend it on. Except same things in the store. Annoying thing is you can never check if you've got a particular item or not, which is sometimes a bit frustrating. So you just have to buy everything. Sun-Thurs. Alright, we're going to do a bit of farming now. Oh, there's water there. Get distracted so easy. I swear I would be a nightmare if I was a parent. So every time anything comes up, I'll just get distracted and my kid's dead. I'm really hoping that what I just said there won't be used against me in a court of law sometime in the future. I have nothing to buy. So you upgraded everything, including all the rooms in your house? Because there's a lot of rooms in your house and it costs you a lot of money. Not all the rooms yet, I don't see the point at this stage. Well, there you go. See, you do have something to buy. There's nothing to buy that you want. I just spent them anyway, just in case. Just in case they do some trickery. And either change that limit or change something about the houses that everyone all of a sudden wants to buy. That's my suspicion. They're going to change something about the houses, and all of a sudden everyone's going to want to buy the rooms, but no one will have the money for it. That's my suspicion. I reckon you should do it, because yeah, I reckon they're going to do something with the internal house, because I don't think people use them as much as they think. I think people build a nice room, maybe like a kitchen or a bedroom, and that's about it. So I feel like they're going to look at the house and start to think about what else they could do with it. And I reckon a lot of people will be like, oh, buy more rooms, buy more rooms. So I'm prepared for that. I'm prepared for that already. I don't think it'll be this update, but I can see them doing something like that in the future. I'm fully pretty much up to date. I mean, there are a few things I want to spend money on, such as more ingredients from Remy. I haven't got chest full of all those, but I find that's like I could do that like in a second if I wanted to. So I'm not too fussed about that. How many rooms we can get? I think it was like 20 or 25. I can quickly check there. Hold on. Let's check for all those out there. So for all those out there wanting to know how many rooms you can get at maximum, I'll show you. We'll go on here. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to count them. You can get 20 rooms. Oh, 20 floors, sorry. I should say 20 floors. And what's that? 4 rooms each. So 20 times 4. 80 rooms. You can get 80 rooms. I don't know why you have need for 80 rooms. You can get them if you want. I started off wanting to make a bedroom for every character, but then I kept on hitting my item limit and I gave up. Yeah, exactly. You don't need 80 rooms. Or 20 floors. You don't. But I do. See, that's commitment. It does cost you like $1 million per floor near the end. I think the final 5, I think, cost $1 million each. But that's how dedicated I am. But don't say you ain't got money, you got nothing to spend money on. There's plenty to buy. Alright, I'm gonna plant all these. You truly are, yeah. I'm dedicated. I just like the idea that I'll be going to the next update, and anything that I want to buy I can get straight off the bat. Like, I'm suspecting that there could be something worth like $1 million, right? Be able to get it right there. That's why I'm excited for like doing my day stream, because I think the only thing that annoys me, and they did this in the last update, they do put time-locked events in, like the Stitch quests, that you have to pick up a sock, wait 5 days, pick up a sock, wait 5 days, and then you can complete it. That was kind of annoying. That I found a sock on the first day of the new update, and I couldn't progress with it. I couldn't get Stitch. I completed everything else though, so I unlocked all Woody stuff. Oh, actually, I think, if memory serves me right, I unlocked the majority of stuff, but I didn't level Woody up completely. I think I did that the next day. That's the one thing I didn't. I didn't finish off his last quest. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. The whole day of it. I'm just worried about the time lock ones. That's the only thing. But so pretty much what I'm suspecting in this update. So we're going to get a bit of storage management. I don't think it necessarily means bigger chests. I think it just means a better way to know how many items you have. I reckon that's it. So you'll be able to like look up your collections or something and it'll tell you how many items you got. We're going to have house skins. Sorry, you can change the color of your house. And levels. So we may go either our personal level increases from 40 or the companion level increases from 10. Labeling chests? Maybe, but I do like the idea of like having a table with what you've got on it. I think if they introduce that, and they're well in touch with the community too. I think they'll be like, that's what the community wants, labels. Just doesn't feel like that's the direction they should go with it. I reckon it's either going to be increasing of the chests or a better way of just being able to like go like this under forging or something, and it'll tell you how many you've got into each one. I think there's something like that. It'll be interesting to see what they do, because they specifically said storage management, not storage. They didn't end up with just storage, so it's going to be interesting to see the direction they go with that. The only new bit of information we get after the April is a princess race in the valley. Everything else, which people are blowing way out of proportion. I've seen a lot of videos on this. Them going through, oh, we're going to get more. That was already confirmed. We already confirmed that we're going to get a multiplayer. They don't elaborate what. We already knew we were going to get more characters and realms. We already knew we were going to get more clothing and more furniture. But people are blowing this kind of roadmap. I mean, I get it. Newsworthy, definitely the Enchanto reveal. And the characters are actually confirmed to come. But that's making this sound like a massive update. But really, this was coming anyway. It was just now we have specifics. Standard add-ons for more to come. So, like, I've watched not a lot of videos today, but I've watched a couple of videos, and they're so clickbaity, and it frustrates me the hell. Like, this is cool stuff, right? It's cool to talk about. It's cool to get engaged and go through all that stuff. But it really annoys me. It really does annoy me. It's just all clickbaity stuff. But I mean, this is cool content to talk about and discuss. But yeah, sometimes annoying. And reading through what they've actually said, they don't really give us too much. So it'll be interesting. I'm a scorned gamer at this point. Proof is in the pudding. Multiplayer's a standout, but to be honest, we already knew we were going to get multiplayer. So pretty much they just stated we haven't forgotten. Like, we haven't forgotten about multiplayer, even though we promised it already. But that was my little rant about stupid clickbaity stuff. It annoys me so much. I think it annoys me so much that it works. And it pains me a little bit. I mean, we've done 2 rants or 3 rants on some of the clickbaity stuff, where they don't talk about any of the news until the end. And I just don't get why. The problem is I can't say anything. Well, I can say something, but if a wider audience or their audience ever found out about it, they'll just bash me like, oh, you're just jealous. I'm like, oh, God. That's my biggest fear about my rants that I put in my clip show, that one day someone's audience who are like, of someone I've like, not attacked, but just like criticized, will just blow it way out of proportion. You don't come here for quality content. Come on. They go up from here. Alright, we'll sit by my fish. And we'll wrap this up. So, this is my last stream of the week. So thank you everyone for watching throughout the week. For those out there, I really do appreciate everyone popping around. This week has been a bit disjointed. Not a lot of grinding, a lot of slower points. But as I said, I do this every week. Exciting news about the new content coming. In a few weeks, we might get that drop. So I'll be doing a 12-hour stream when that happens. And yeah, it's been great. I will be back on again in 2 days. 2 days from now. Obviously, I've got my YouTube, I've got my Twitch VODs. If you're bored, I've got my clip show that I put out every week of the weekly streams, and you're more than welcome to comment on it because no one does, and it's always good to know how I can make things better. So if you're ever bored, ever want something to do, you're more than welcome to watch that. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, buy Ethereal, buy Yoko, buy Red if you're still out there. I really do appreciate you guys popping around this morning. These morning streams are typically my slower ones, so it's great. But thank you everyone for the week. It's been a really great one. And yeah, until next time, or next week.